winter foraging. It's January 2nd. What can I find in the woods here? This is Stellaria media, or chickweed. This is a well-known edible. It's delicious raw and in salads. I'm seeing it alongside the edges of this trail here, and it's not uncommon as an introduced species, but there is a native species. There's actually one up that hill. Up that hill over there I found of Mexican chickweed, Stellaria cuspidata. But the difference between that is it has truncate to cordate leaf bases, whereas these kind of curve outward. Anyway, chickweed's delicious on salads, and you just eat it raw straight off the plant. What else can we find? Oh, here's some Pennsylvania pellitory, Horiataria pennsylvanica, and this one is really good when it's young. You can eat it raw. It tastes just like cucumber. Apparently some people, a rare proportion of people, have like a kind of like a niacin flush or an itchy reaction from it, so don't eat a whole lot if it's your first time. These guys are cleavers. They're really easy to tell that because it's called cleavers because they stick to your clothing like that. Well, this one's kind of wet, but you can actually eat these raw when they're young. But when they get bigger, they quickly become a little bit uncomfortable a bit to eat. But you can brew them into a tea at any size. This is right next to it here. We have some Drummond's wood sorrel. Drummond's is the native one here, and it's really common in the woods. Well, I think this is Drummond's, but a little bit hard to tell without flowers. But Drummond's tends to be bigger. Often they have pointier or more elongate leaves. But yeah, these are delicious. They're very tart and sweet and common. You can find them just about anywhere. These I do because they look just like a heart. Stuff right here looks a little like grass, and some of it is, but these ones with the widest leaf blades is actually a false daylily, Tenantia anomala, and it has a little bit of a mucilaginous sap to it and taste, but it's good to eat because unlike grasses, it doesn't have a lot of silicates in there, which are going to be hard to digest and hard on your teeth. These have these beautiful bluish flowers with 2 petals. This one is available all the time. This is Turk's cap, Malvaviscus arboreus. The entire plant is edible. Fruits are particularly good. They're these fleshy little red apple-like things, but I like its foliage when it's young. As they mature, they get a little bit tough, but you can still eat them then. You just gotta cook them first, make them a little bit softer. I got a lot of the annual bastard cabbage. This is Rapistrum rugosum, and its foliage is pretty good raw when it's young. Any older, they get a little bit tough also. I really like the flowers of bastard cabbage. This is actually sow thistle, Saltus oleracea, and it has these sort of prickly leaves. It looks a lot like wild lettuce at first glance, but wild lettuce has a row of spines underneath the midrib of the leaf, which this doesn't. It's gonna also have some milky sap like wild lettuce does. Pretty good also when it's young. And also along with it under here, we got some Drummond's wood sorrel. This is really good. This is sweet and very tart. And Drummond's wood sorrel tends to be big like this with those elongated leaf lobes. Yeah, I love to eat this. One of the first wild plants I ever ate. This is some more of that sow thistle. Some more sow thistle. Here's some henbit, Marubium vulgare. It's in the Lamiaceae, so it has square-shaped stems. That's the mint family. And this tastes pretty good raw. Kind of like I don't know, it's got a little bit of minty taste, I suppose. Makes a nice little accent for salads and such. It is introduced species too, so you can find this very commonly in yards and stuff. This is Urtica chimidrioides, and heartleaf nettle is the common name. You can identify it being nettled by its little stinging hairs, or you can just touch it and see if it stings you. But you can eat this actually. It's really good, really healthy for you. All you gotta do is boil it to deactivate those stinging hairs and make it good to eat. You can just parboil it if you wanna have it in a salad, so basically just dip it in boiling water real quick, and so it's still fresh and crunchy like a green for the most part. I mean, the edges are wilted, but it deactivates the hairs. This is sow thistle and wild lettuce side by side. You can see there's a little difference in the color there. A sow thistle tends to have these like purplish splotches. A better idea is this row of spines along the midrib of the leaf. This one's pretty young, so it might be hard to see. It also has a wider milky sap. You can actually brew this into a nice sleepy tea. You kind of need a whole lot of it, so this plant wouldn't be good for that. But it does make good greens for a salad when it's young. In fact, your iceberg lettuce is descended from a wild ancestor of Lactuca, which is the same genus as this. This is Lactuca cereola. Yeah, it's raw. It's a little bit bitter, but some young leaves in the salad go quite well. It's very healthy. Here's some curly dock. Rumix crispus has these reddish petioles, and its curly dock name comes from that leaf margin shape. These are good, kind of at any stage, but the bigger they get, the tougher they are, and the more tartness that they have. The young leaves are good. Like, these might be still pretty good. This one's definitely good. You can always eat the stems by themselves, and actually when it gets bigger, you can eat the inner part of that stem. It's got a nice tart taste. It's kind of like wood sorrel. It has those oxalates or oxalic acid. Here's some Canadian meadow garlic. It looks a lot like grass, but it's not flat completely in cross section. But most importantly, it has an onion-like smell when you break it off and sniff it. And this is good raw in salads or as a spice in meat or whatever. How many species does a salad have? Daylily, wood sorrel, pellitory, cleavers, bastard cabbage, dock, sow thistle. You know, there's wild lettuce in there. Wax mallow, henbit, wild onion. 11, huh? Well, heck, let's just round it up to an even dozen with some of this stuff. This is medicago, or burr clover. Medicago polymorpha. It has these really annoying burrs that sticks to your socks, but it grows all over my yard, and it's actually really good and high in protein. And also available at winter time. It actually goes really well. It's like Italian seasoning for some reason. I'll put it in like a morning smoothie as a substitute for greens. Apple cider vinegar, olive oil, some salt. There we go. 12 species winter salad. Let's try this on a bed of one of the ingredients. I also have some sow thistle within reach here. Pretty good. You want some now? And try it. So good, even cats will eat it. Ralph, eat it. It's winter is no excuse. You can forage anything any time of the year. Here we go, just some greenbrier. The growing young tips of greenbrier are the edible part, but deer love those, so it looks like these have been browsed by deer. They are available during the winter. This is coma or gum bumelia. You can actually eat the sap of this or the inner bark raw. It's got a sweet, nice taste. The guy would use it as a chewing gum. Yopon holly, if you want to make some caffeinated tea out of it, really good. You just parch it and boil it up in some water. I have a few videos about it, and it's evergreen, so you can collect that all year round. And right next to it, we also have some dewberry. You can also make a tea out of this. It's a nice, healthy tea. Winter's also, of course, a great time to scout because so much of foraging is about where are the plants and how can I find them at the right time. But these zigzaggy guys are chili pekin, capsicum annuum variety glabriscum. Here's it right here with its leaves. So I'm always keeping track sort of mentally of where these guys are because I love collecting their peppers. They're very spicy. They're very small, just like a pea size, and they're quite delicious. You can find the best flint, in my opinion, in all of the world in the cliffs just upstream from here. Georgetown flint is already considered the best in the world, but I think this is better than that. It's got a black color. It's almost like obsidian. It's super glassy, and you can find deposits of this right around here. That's the only place I've ever found it.